Everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. It's Friday, November 30th. Hope you're excited for the weekend. Not too many news items to share with you guys, but definitely two important items I definitely want to highlight to you guys. And it's around things that we've been talking about, of course, over the past few months. The first is, as we've been discussing, VanEck, Cboe, have their Bitcoin ETF proposals submitted to the SEC. Now, the SEC has a deadline of December 29th that they're going to look at it to see if they're going to approve it. I don't think they're going to approve it December 29th. I think it's going to happen in February of 2019. That's the next deadline, the final deadline, I should say. Well, it is reported here by CoinDesk that VanEck, also SolidX, and Cboe met with SEC staff on Monday of this week to demonstrate how the Bitcoin market is ready for an ETF. So this is definitely progress here, guys. So let me give you some more details. They are obviously looking to get their approval, and the fact that they're meeting with the SEC is a great sign. So members of VanEck, SolidX, and Cboe BZX Exchange met with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission staff earlier this week to present a new argument on why the Bitcoin market is ready for an exchange-traded fund, in the latest push to convince the regulator to approve a rule change which would open the door for the country's first Bitcoin ETF. The three firms met with the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance, Division of Trading and Markets, Division of Economic and Risk Analysis, and the Office of General Counsel. Notably, Monday's efforts differed from previous presentations, which took more of a regulatory focus. Instead, proponents' argument centered around the idea that the Bitcoin market is mature enough to support an ETF, and at present looks similar to markets for other assets which already have such products. The presentation gave several examples of assets that already have ETFs, including crude oil, silver, and gold. So this is a positive sign. This is what you have to do. You have to go in and meet with these people, educate them, tell them about the market. But we have seen over the past month or so, the SEC has been moving very fast, releasing ICO guides, visiting these conferences, right? Jay Clayton, the chairman, was just at Consensus Invest. We saw Hester Pierce she's been a big advocate for crypto. She was even on one of these recent podcasts talking about crypto. So I think an approval is around the corner. Why? We have the cryptocurrency companies have been lobbying Washington, D.C. politicians. Also, the big money is getting in. You have big corporations, TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, ICE, right? So these people have money and they're going to make things happen. They have their political connections. They donate to politicians. You guys know how that all works. So this is all good news. I think, the SEC, like I said, is going to approve something in February. I could be wrong, but a lot of the major players like Mike Novogratz and many others are calling for, that timeline of when it might be approved. And we also saw Bakkt push their launch, to January 24th. So something major could be happening in Q1 of 2019. Obviously, we're just making an educated guess here. No one has a crystal ball and can accurately predict the future. So I hope you understand that. That's the caveat here. No one can predict the future. If I could predict the future, I wouldn't be doing videos here. I'd probably be a billionaire because I would know what stock to buy, what's the lottery number, all of that. So some of you, I see some comments sometimes. People are just like, hey, why you said that? As I always say, I could be wrong. So please keep that in the back of your mind. But we're looking at the facts and we're making some educated guesses here. So this is happening and this is a great sign. And I believe, the VanEck, I believe that one definitely has the most potential to get approved. It is physically backed. I did not know that, and I learned about it about a few weeks ago. I'm also looking to interview the director of digital assets there, if I have his title right, Gabor Gurbax. He is digital asset strategist director at VanEck. So I'm looking to interview this guy in the next couple of weeks. His schedule is really packed right now. And I'm going to ask him, some questions, about how did that meeting go, right? And what seems to be the holdup? What's the concerns? We heard Jay Clayton say, a manipulation on the exchanges, and that's part of what's been holding up a few things. So I'm going to ask him those questions. So what I would love for you guys to do, if you want a specific question you want me to ask, please leave it in the comment section. I'll take a look at that. If it makes sense, I'll add it to my list. So definitely do that, because I want you guys to get the most out of these interviews that I do with these folks. So just letting you know, I'm in contact with him, and I'm going to look to do that interview. So leave your questions below with other comments. So definitely a great sign. And as I stated before, you and I don't need an ETF, right? We actually hold cryptos, but the big money, this is one of those major hurdles or gateways into you could bring in a lot of different types of money into this market. Why? There are institutions that don't want to touch crypto because they work in certain industries, they have regulations and different laws that keep them from doing certain things. So if they can't touch the crypto, actually they can go to ETF route, and that in itself is just going to bring so much more money into the market. So definitely some big things ahead, guys. So keep holding. Now we have a new Ripple drop video, and I want to play a clip.
Xpring is really an initiative.
Oops. I want to play a clip here for you guys. What is this about? It is about Xpring, the Ripple Xpring initiative, which we know is something that was created earlier this year, where they take XRP and they fund different businesses and inject XRP into the ecosystems. Now, they actually feature a guy I interviewed, which is Tom Mcleod, who is the CEO and founder of Omni. Omni is the storage service, right, where you can rent out your items. And if you recall, I interviewed Tom 2 times. I interviewed him earlier this year, back in February, it looks like, or January, when they got the funding from Ripple, about 25 million. And then a month ago, I interviewed him as well, talking about phase 1 of XRP integration, where it allows you to cash out with your earnings with XRP, and then eventually it's going to be phase 2 of being able to deposit XRP and use it within the ecosystem. So I want you guys to definitely look at this video. I'm going to leave a link in the description to it, so that you can learn more about this. And I'm going to play a clip because there's an interesting takeaway here from Miguel Viaz, where he talks about the benefits of Xpring. And this is one of the things I've mentioned in the past, that Xpring is often overlooked because of XRapid. But it's just imagine XRP being used in multiple ecosystems across different industries. So not only XRapid, which we know is the biggest use case, but also within these e-commerce or any type of commerce type activity online, where people can pay for stuff, XRP being leveraged. So let me play the clip here, and so you guys can listen to some of this.
What's the future look like?
So for Xpring, we're focused on a couple of different things. As I mentioned, XRP payments is an important one. I think the other that we're spending some time digging into is looking at the tokenization of real world assets.
New use cases for XRP. What does that do to global liquidity?
Yeah, it's incredibly accretive to global growth of liquidity, especially for XRP, if it's being used in those flows. If you look at other markets, the driving force of FX liquidity is not speculation, it's not liquidity provisioning by market participants, it's the use of that liquidity by real businesses. The more liquidity you have, the tighter spreads, the more efficient XRapid and XRP end up being.
Did you guys catch that? More liquidity you had, the more efficient XRapid, tighter spreads, more efficient XRapid and XRP is going to be. So this is all part of Ripple's plan, and I think this is such an amazing idea, where the company itself gets a benefit of the funding from the Xpring initiative, and also gets to use this superior digital asset, which is the future technology here. And people are obviously going to be investing in it, using it, and it is also dovetails with what XRapid is doing, because XRapid is going to be used by banks, payment service providers, and so forth. So the future is bright here, guys, for XRP, and this is why I'm so bullish on it. It is a big chunk of my portfolio, the biggest part of my portfolio. And I'm going to try to get more interviews with other companies who are part of the Xpring initiative. I've been trying to get Scooter Braun of SB Project. So if you guys want to help me out there, tweet at Scooter and say, hey, Tony wants to do an interview with you to talk about XRP being used in SB projects, and let's see if we can get him on here. Obviously, Scooter is pretty high profile. He deals with a lot of, artists and musicians and so forth. If you guys don't know who he is, he was Justin Bieber's manager, and I think he's Ariana Grande's manager and whoever else. So he's well known, obviously, in those circles. But keep holding on to your XRP, guys. Big use cases and utilities coming. And like I said, not just XRapid, but XRP being used in different ecosystems. And all of these things are going to contribute to the volume and drive the utility and, of course, the respective prices from that. So that's why you have to be patient. Look how long it took Omni, near almost a year, to actually integrate, even though they got the funding back in January, because these are real businesses and they have to go through the process of testing, making sure it aligns with their business model. It doesn't cause a hiccup, right? I know us as investors, we're looking for the value to go up, but these things do have to take time. They have to go through it. These are real businesses, real companies. They have other things going on as well while they're trying to do this. So hope you guys understand that. Also, if you don't know about Omni and you're really interested about Omni's integration of XRP, I'll put a link to this video with my interview with Tom, and you guys can watch that, learn about the business and what he's doing there. So it's a really great business idea, by the way. Moving ahead to some other XRP news, shout out to Leonidas. XRP has been added on LiveCoin.net exchange with RUB, BTC, ETH, and USD trading pairs. So continued addition and listing of XRP on multiple exchanges with fiat pairing. So this is a great sign. Now, also Leonidas, he has a YouTube channel, by the way, so you guys can subscribe to that, Leonidas Ripple XRP News. And he does these videos that consolidates a lot of the big news about XRP. Well, he put this video about XRP Fiat Pairings across the world, November 2018. So this is super helpful. If you live in whatever country, here he has a list. You can get an idea of the exchanges and the fiat pairing that's available. So that's very great information to have. So you can bookmark this video. So I'm going to put a link in the description to this video as well. So definitely check it out, guys. Knowledge is power, right? The more you know here. And if you're looking for easier paths to purchase XRP with fiat pairing, this is definitely helpful. So once again, I'll put a link in the description. So guys, what do you think about this news? VanEck, Cboe, SolidX meeting with the SEC, trying to educate them about the market. And the way things are moving with the SEC, the way, Jay Clayton at a crypto conference this past week, I think that's a sign, guys. And the fact that they're putting out all these guides and so forth. So I think ETF approval, February 2019. I'm hoping it's December. The earlier the better, because I think it could spark a bull run, but let's see. And this new Ripple Drop episode, guys, definitely check it out. I'll put a link to it as well. Don't forget to watch the interview if you haven't already with that I had with Tom here, and to learn more about the Xpring initiative, guys. So keep holding, be patient. Very big things are ahead. When you see the big money, the moves that they are making, that should give you confidence, not just looking at the price. Markets move in cycles, prices change. Just look at the stock market, look at the housing market, look at gold, look at oil, right? It's the same thing. There's a lot of factors here. The news, FUD, right? Negative or positive, people's emotions, psychology, all of that stuff. So once you understand these underlying principles, it'll give you, more confidence. Just keep holding to see, okay, what's being built out and the potential of growth here. So leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links in the description. Thank you guys for your support, and I will talk to you all later.